Good morning, cyclists. This is Rick. Today is Saturday, March the 2nd, 2024. Started a bike ride 54 minutes after 10. A little earlier than yesterday. A whole lot earlier. While I was waiting on the weather to warm up a few degrees, I watched the men's and women's Strade Bianche bike race from Tuscany. I'm riding my Cervelo Caledonia bike. Weather 69 degrees, almost 70. Humidity 71%, dew point is 60 degrees. Wind is out of the south, it's 7 miles an hour, and it's overcast. Could get up in the upper 70s today after the clouds, the overcast sky burns off a little bit. Last Saturday I was in Harlingen riding the Jalapeno 100, 67-mile route. Today I'm going to go south and east over to Huffman and FM 2100. I'm going to go south to at least Indian Shores Road on FM 2100. And I might stretch that to, all of a sudden I can't think of the name of the road. It's south of that, across the road. Begins with an S. It'll come to me. Got 3 vultures up here working on some roadkill in the street. They're the ugliest looking birds. Approaching North Park Drive. The road that I was trying to remember on FM 2100 is across the Stroker Road. I might ride south beyond Indian Shores Road to Stroker Road. S-T-R-O-K-E-R. Riding through some side streets in Bear Branch Village. Making my way to Kingwood Drive and then to Westlake Houston Parkway. Sometimes on Saturdays I see other cyclists. That's usually when I start much earlier than I did today, so I am doubtful that I'll see other cyclists. And now it's 6.4 miles, 27 minutes after 11. This is Westlake Houston Parkway at Kings River Drive. I'm turning left onto Kings River Drive. 12.1 miles, and it's 53 minutes after 11. I'll stay on Kings River Drive. It'll transition over to Atascocita Shores Drive, and then on to FM 1960. Stop sign is Water Point Trail. Riding southeast on the Atascocita Shores Drive on my way to FM 1960 to go across Lake Houston to the east. Then take Fair Lake Lane south over to Atascocita Road to the east, and then FM 2100 south. Not too far from FM 1960. Go down a little hill and cross through the intersection of Reba Wood. From there it's about 2/10 of a mile to FM 1960. Stop sign is Reba Wood. 14.5 miles and 4 minutes after 12. This is the intersection of Atascocita Shores and FM 1960. Turning left. We'll see what the shoulder looks like. Looks pretty good comparatively. A little dirt. Got a pallet blocking the main section, but I think I can. It's not a pallet, that's a sheet of steel. Looks like they got the drain in and a little skirt of concrete. Heading across Lake Houston, riding east. Still riding across Lake Houston, east. Not much activity on the lake surface. Wind is fairly calm. And once I get to Fair Lake Lane and it's not so noisy, I'll recount a story from Wednesday. Lake Houston Brewery, looks like they've got some kind of activity, got a lot of little awning covers. Bunch of cars. Riding south on Fair Lake Lane, 17.0 miles and 14 minutes after 12. Back to my story from Wednesday. After driving home from Harlingen on Wednesday, I was unloading my gear and things. As I was taking out, or getting ready to take the Canyon end race bike out of the back of the Jeep, the Lord positioned the tire so that as I was running my fingers over the tire, the rear tire, to take it out, I felt this little stick my finger or rub my finger. As I looked closer, it was a little piece of wire sticking out of the tire. Tried pulling it out with my fingernails, but I couldn't get a hold of it. So I got a pair of pliers, pulled it out, and I thought, okay, if this made it to the tube, I'm going to have a flat tire. But that's okay. I'd rather have the flat tire at home than someplace out on the road. Well, it's been since Wednesday, and the rear tire is still firm on the Canyon End Race bike. That was a good find. Thank you, Lord. I guess I'm going to see at least one cyclist. Got a Bora Hansgrohe kit on. Looks like they're working on that rental house. Mowing the yard. Gonna turn left onto Old Atascocita Road. Head to the railroad tracks. When I was riding south on Fair Lake Lane, I had a little bit of headwind. Probably about 7 miles an hour worth. Up and over the railroad tracks. Well, as I was riding east on Old Atascocita Road, as I passed the church, Huffman Pentecostal Church, I think it is, I'm not sure. Anyway, I started to feel the rear tire going soft, so I got a flat. Now the question is, can I find out what the problem is? Same tires I had other problems with. It's where I'm at here, it is 19.0 miles, 24 minutes after 12. See what I can find. Well, the rear tire, my nemesis, the adhesive patch that I put on several rides ago when I rock pierced the tire and the tube, came off again, hurt. Started leaking, so I had to wipe my runny nose, sorry about that. Pulled the tube out, aired up the tire or the tubes, and the hole was same place. I think when I get home I may just replace this tube. I'm not having any success with patching it, it appears. So it's 52 minutes after 12. I'm going to resume my ride. I thought that I wasn't going to see any other cyclists. Well, while I was patching my tire here at the church, I saw two guys, and then just before, as I was standing up after fixing the tire, a group of probably 8 or so cyclists went riding west on Old Atascocita Road. So if I would have been out on the road, I would have seen them. The tire appears to be holding air. Uh-oh. Nope. I thought I saw something sticking out of the tire, but nope. I think I fixed it. On to Indian Shores Road. Riding south on FM 2100, headed to Indian Shores Road. Rear tires still seem to be holding air after about 3/10 of a mile. That's good. I'm counting on that. Also, it would be nice if the overcast sky cleared out a little bit and had some sun. While I was working on the tire, I cooled off, and now it's kind of chilly as I'm riding. Coming up to Spanish Cove Drive, I'll drive through that. Continue on to Indian Shores Road. Approaching Indian Shores Road at the traffic light. I'll go through the traffic light and then circle back around through the Texaco station. And ride back north on FM 2100. Rear tire still holding up. 21.4 miles and 3 minutes after 1. Going north on FM 2100, approaching Spanish Cove Drive, continuing north to FM 1960 in Huffman. Rear patch is still doing its job, I guess. The rear tire feels firm. 23.0 miles, 9 minutes after 1. On the way to Indian Shores Road, had some headwind, not heavy, but headwind, and riding north, light tailwind. Yesterday's video, the new cable fixed the audio. It was back to what it used to be. I've crossed Lake Houston. I'm riding south on Atascocita shores. We're going to turn right on this street, which is Pines Palace Drive. Take some streets to get into Walden. Wind wasn't too bad going across Lake Houston. .8 miles, and it's 33 minutes after 1. My tire patching is going to put me later than I expected. Hope to be home before, should be home before 2:30. So, maybe even 2:15. Pine Echo Drive, cross street. Riding in Walden on Cross Country Drive, headed west. Making my way to Pinehurst Trail Drive and cross over FM 1960, heading north, back to Kingwood. .9 miles and 38 minutes after 1. Overall average speed 13.9 miles an hour. Riding time's 2 hours and 9 minutes. We're crossing over Farmingham, a couple hundred feet. Riding west or southwest on Upper Lake Drive, back in Kings River, making my way to West Lake Houston Parkway to ride north across the San Jacinto River. For a few minutes, the sun broke through the overcast sky, but clouds have covered it back up again. Up, flat tire, rear tire. .5 miles and 50 minutes after 1. Okay. Ended up just replacing the tube. I had enough of this, so I put in a TPU tube that I carry as a spare. I don't know if I'm going to carry this tube home or not. It's a a battle of frustration. Time is 13 minutes after 2, still 32.5 miles. So, got an aired up rear tire. We're gonna see if we can make it home. Just as I finished putting the wheel back into the Cervelo, a lady cyclist rode by, asked if I was okay. And now that I've got the tire, or the tube replaced, I think so. I think we're okay. We're about 5.5 miles from the end of the ride. I'm going to replace the tube anyway when I got home. Just took care of that. Still on my way to Westlake Houston Parkway. The street I was on had, apparently today was trash day, so several homes had their trash cans out front. I dropped the tube in one of the trash cans. And you'll probably wonder where that come from. This is Kings River Drive. Up ahead is Westlake Houston Parkway. 32.9 miles. 17 minutes after 2. Back in Kingwood, riding on Kings Crossing Drive, headed to intersection with Kingwood Drive. Cross over that. This has been a flat-filled bike ride. It's been a good bike ride other than 2 flats. Actually, the same flat twice. Hopefully I've got that behind me by changing out the tube. And heading on. Kingwood Drive coming up. 35.7 miles and 29 minutes after 2.